Okay, so I'm doing here pair. I'm gonna start pair 5. These are our union of the two coils. So this is P1, which is our starting point right here, south coil, and so this is P1, and the north will be right here, center the bisector. Okay, so P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. Now, mainly here, what I wanted to tell you is very important you push this coil behind before you start the other one in, so you get access all the way back. If this coil is forward, then you're wasting space there. And so on. You gotta keep packing them as you wind them, and you gotta keep the same. If you notice right here, I am keeping about the same space open for next coils to come in. If you notice they're getting too much out, you gotta press them. You gotta press them. You gotta pack them. You gotta compact them as much as you could. So we got room then for the other coils coming in. I already sealed number 1, P1, on the positive here to keep me as a mark. And the problem, these commutators are designed for 16 gauge. So, but I have to tap it with the fine screwdriver first, the wire in, and then I got 16, and I make a piece like a U shape, and I slide it in there and stock it, so it keeps on forcing it in, and the commutator cut as it gets to the upper part, it gets narrower, so it does locks in there. But when you get the 16, then you finally really stock it there, so it's not gonna come anywhere out. And if you notice, I put the spaghetti there, the insulation, and I got it all the way back, which is the idea here. Why? As I'm doing it, I'm stacking it, I'm pushing it all the way towards the shaft, because then I'm gonna run a strap on it, keeping them tight. Okay, I'm here doing P8. I already finished. That's right here. Now, if we look at where we started, this is bisector north 1, means the second pair of P1, the north side. The south is right here, and this is where I started the piece, and this way was P1 south, and the bisector here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. The bisector 7. So here is the north, and 8 is exactly above P1 north. But the side that of P8 that is on top of P1 north is the south coil. But P8 will be at output when we got the brush here, because this is a perfect 90-degree right here, and this is where this coil is reversed, and it'll be right above the north coil, which is behind in the second plane, because it was the first one that we did. But it's exactly comprehending the same amount of poles, the 7 poles here, and with the same bisector. So this is the checkup that you guys have to do, and so far I'm keeping very well track here. I stock these wires so I don't lose them, because even at the bottom I'm working kind of looser, but I'm still I got every wire hooked to where it belongs. The first element going that way, because I'm hooking also here the same way. I'm coming from the wire, I'm jumping to the first one. So that's how I did it on the first one. So the same way in the second one, and so on. So as long as I keep them here, at least one side, if you get this side right here perfectly aligned, at least, let's say you lose one wire, you can always use a meter with continuity and check for continuity which one is your coil, the corresponding one that goes there. So eventually having one side, keeping the track on this is fine. So far I have wound the, now the way I wind it, it's I go and tighten a few turns and then start going in the back of the turns, not in the front, because then it'll come forward. I don't want that. So from the back of the coil I start tightening it. This kind of winding, as much as wire you put in, the more it locks in. So if there is any, maybe a little loose wire or something, it'll get stuck with the following turn. That is going to come, let's say right here, P9 is going to come from here, over here. So it's going to go in here, and it's going to lock it. And so on. Now comes this one here, jumping one slot. I'm going that way, coming P9 right here, and landing it right here in front of it, and jumping one slot, and all the way, just have done, you know, half, I would say like a quarter of a motor wiring is what I have done. And I got plenty of wire, so I'm gonna come back when I'm at the final stage, because this is so far coming along good. Now, where you can make mistakes are, typical mistakes are, you don't go in the right slot, and you keep going, not in here, but normally here is where you can make mistakes and just jump a couple of wires. That's a no-no. You have to be very pending on which coil it is, and always keep your armature with the connecting guide side up. Don't start winding the other way around, because you get confused. Remember, one is the south is counterclockwise, the north is clockwise. So if you turn it around, it'll be completely opposite, and you lose track of what you're doing, and your motor won't work. Okay, so I am here right now on P15. We started right here. This is bisector 1. We started winding right here. With the south, and the north is way in, and so we kept going. I marked the 8 right here, and as you can notice, windings are getting out. It's the reason why when we started on the first one, I said to push it first, as the other one will make room to go inside the close to the shaft, as you can see there. I don't know if the camera will capture. Now, as you can see, the coming inside of it. I can almost stick my finger in there. It's coming in. So B South 15 is perfectly aligned with the one when we first were setting up our coils set up on the 360 quadrant, and it's perfect. Bisector 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is south of P15. North is right here, and this is perfect. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're fine. We're perfect here. It's P15. I'm just about to close it. This is what it looks like up to P15. And yeah, it's a lot of work. And down here, this is the way that it comes from factory. I actually didn't alter this commutator, but if you notice that it's pretty close to it. I believe we could move it a few millimeters that way from factory with a tool like I mentioned before that we slide in and pull it. This one I set it up myself. We got plenty of room, and as you can see, the bearing is perfectly all the way to the notch right here. Can't go any further. So, and we still got room. And the thing here is that we might have to modify the housing or something to do that, and really it's not worth it. It's close, but it's not making contact, so it's not going to interfere. And basically I'm going already into the outer coils of the motor. We already did all the interior of it, so the inside is almost all finished. So I'm coming out in the outside, always keeping my upper shaft where I'm gonna make the connection. I always keep it up. I always start from here. It's a sequence. Once that you get it, then you go like this, and then you wind the 13, 14 turns and go in here this way on the other 7, and then kill it down here below. Okay, I am right now at pair 21 right here, and like I said, I marked number 15 right here, and so we got 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I'm also hooking them at the bottom to keep track. Not that organized, but I do have them secure on the commutator. Okay, so we have to keep running tests here, like checking. This is our starting point right here. This is bisector north and bisector south where we started. So that means we got 3 poles here and 3 here that with the center bisector, these are where we started south of P1. And this is where the P28, these are a sequence, and this is why the bisectors or the vortex of the magnetic fields. This is the bisector, I call it, because it creates an angle on the pattern, so it's the center of the pattern towards the stators. So we got bisector 1. We went winding that way, so we got bisector 2 right here south, and so on here, bisector 2 north, and so on. This is a series of repetitions as we go back, and then when we go to P28, P28 has to be right here, the bisector of the south of P28, and so on here, because this is where we started, and we got this from here down there. We got it all taken care of. Okay, BN2, BN3, and so on, and then you can relate to the graphic to check it out. But the bisector of B28 north will be here, and the south, BN28 will be right here, right next to BN1, and BS south 28 will be right here. So that means that 3 this way and 3 this way, so your south of P28 will be right here, and this is where you got to realize the space that we need in order to do that. See how I've been winding, and see how we're running very, very tight, and I have to keep pushing it wire with this piece of wood I have created, and then I have another one to go in between the slots and push them. Now this side right here is already is ready to be set the hedges on to hold the wire in. But see how much little space I got. I gotta come here with P22 south and keep going through here, jumping one slot right here and so on. So but here you have an idea of what it's getting to and how to wrap it and close it properly. So your bisector 28 north has to be here and your south here. So your P closing 28 has to be right next to P1. And that's, if you're getting there and you wrap it up, and this is my starting point that I marked right there. So my ending brush of P28 should be right next to it. Right, the two next elements to it. So then we got it all perfectly wound. I will do a comparison of both armatures, the symmetric one and this one, so you see the huge difference in the windings. This is a complete different machine within the same embodiment, and the performance is, you will see it. Okay, got these gloves after I got a few blisters. Very smart of me. I use them on the right hand side to make the pull. I grab the wire in between my fingers and then I can keep a tension on it. I find it sometimes uncomfortable to go in between the slots, so I do half and half. But anyways, I'm here right now. I am finished doing P22. If you go into the graphic, you see that P22, this is the south of P22, and this is the north of P22 right here. So if you look at this is BN15. This means the bisector of pair north 15, and south of P22 is right there above the same thing, but it's behind in the previous coils behind, but still is in the same magnetic field. Now this P15, it'll be the one that will be generating reversing polarity. So meaning it'll be when 15 is energized, this will be being assisting it, and so on. Here we got BS bisector south 1, and we got the P22 south, the P22 north, it'll be right above BS1, bisector south 1, and that's how it goes. I still gotta go 22. I still gotta go 6 more coils here to finish, but the bisector of this one, it'll be opposite but right on the center of it, the P22. And if you look at the graphic, you can see and recheck that B15 BN15 will be P22 south, right above the same 7 poles with the same BN15. And now this is a way of for you guys to keep checking and making sure by the graphic that we got it all, we're doing okay. So I just got like 6 more coils to go and we'll be done. Then it'll be punching all this in place and wrapping it and putting the hedges on it and securing it. Since the wire is so close over here, I might put a band of fiberglass strip around it and coat it later on, but I'm gonna take it for a spin later on.